In a crowded prison visiting room, a father stood up, and within seconds his son's fiancée lay dead on the floor. What he had just discovered shattered every illusion. But was it justice, or something darker? Grainy CCTV footage captures the chaos. A woman collapsing, guards rushing in, bystanders frozen in shock. The ticking of a clock underscores the tension. The father's face is a mask of rage and despair. What could drive a man to commit such an act in front of his own son? The answer lies in a web of secrets, betrayal, and a past that refused to stay buried. This is the story of a family torn apart by hidden truths, where love and loyalty collide with deception and vengeance. A tale that challenges our understanding of justice and the lengths one might go to protect those they love, or to avenge them. As the investigation unfolds, we'll delve into the lives of those involved, uncovering the events that led to that fateful day. We'll explore the psychological toll of long-held secrets and the devastating impact they can have when finally revealed. Join us as we unravel the mystery behind this tragic incident, seeking to understand the motives and emotions that culminated in a moment of irreversible consequence. What would make a father kill his future daughter-in-law in cold blood, in front of his own son? Evan Carter, 28, was a devoted son, visiting his father, Daniel Carter, every week in prison. Daniel, a 52-year-old former Army veteran, was serving time for manslaughter. Evan's fiancée, Marissa, was a glamorous and warm woman with a mysterious past. But who really was Marissa? What secret pushed a man already behind bars to kill again? Was this premeditated, or a crime of passion? As we delve deeper into this tragic story, we'll uncover the hidden truths and complex relationships that led to a shocking act of violence. Stay with us as we explore the motives and secrets that culminated in a moment that changed everything. Daniel Carter, 52, a former Army veteran, was known for his protective nature and strict discipline. His military service instilled in him a strong sense of duty and loyalty. However, a tragic incident led to his incarceration. During a bar altercation, Daniel was involved in a fight that turned deadly, resulting in a manslaughter conviction. He has since expressed deep regret over the incident and the years he has missed in his son's life. Evan Carter, now 28, grew up without a steady father figure due to Daniel's imprisonment. This absence left a void in his life, leading him to seek emotional connections elsewhere. During the pandemic, Evan met Marissa online. Their relationship blossomed quickly, and she became a significant part of his life. Evan cherished the bond he was rebuilding with his father, often sharing details about Marissa during their weekly prison visits. Marissa, a beautiful and enigmatic woman, appeared supportive of Evan's efforts to reconnect with his father. However, Daniel sensed something was amiss. He recalls, "She never mentioned her family. Always changed the subject when we asked about her childhood." This evasiveness raised red flags for Daniel, who couldn't shake the feeling that Marissa was hiding something. Home video footage shows Evan and Marissa during happier times, planning their future together. Phone call recordings from prison capture Daniel's growing concerns about Marissa's past. Clips of wedding planning highlight the couple's excitement, juxtaposed with Daniel's unease. As we delve deeper into this story, questions arise. Who really was Marissa? What secrets was she keeping? And what led Daniel to commit a shocking act in front of his own son? Note: the above narrative is a fictional dramatization inspired by true events and is intended for storytelling purposes. It was a brisk Saturday morning when Evan Carter brought Marissa to meet his father, Daniel, for the first time in person. The prison visiting room buzzed with conversations, the clatter of vending machines, and the occasional cry of a child. Despite the noise, there was an air of anticipation. Daniel, seated at a bolted-down table, watched as Evan approached, hand in hand with Marissa. She smiled warmly, extending her hand. "Nice to finally meet you, sir." Her voice, however, struck Daniel as unfamiliar, almost rehearsed. Her handshake was firm, her nails impeccably manicured. details that seemed inconsistent with the stories Evan had shared about her modest upbringing. As they conversed, Daniel's military-honed instincts kicked in. He observed Marissa's posture, her choice of words, the way she deflected questions about her past. Flashbacks of previous phone calls surfaced, moments where Marissa's stories had subtle inconsistencies where she avoided topics about her family or childhood. Midway through the visit, Daniel leaned forward, his voice low but firm. "Tell him the truth, or I will." Marissa's eyes widened, a flicker of panic crossing her face. Evan looked between them, confusion evident. "Dad, what's going on?" The room's ambient noise seemed to fade as tension mounted. Suddenly, Daniel stood, knocking his chair back. In one swift motion, he grabbed a sharpened piece of plastic, a makeshift weapon he'd concealed. Before anyone could react, he lunged at Marissa. Screams erupted. Guards rushed in. Evan tried to intervene but was held back. Marissa collapsed, blood pooling beneath her. The room fell into stunned silence. The prison erupted into chaos. Guards swiftly secured the area, ushering visitors out and initiating a facility-wide lockdown. Emergency services were called, but for Marissa, it was too late. The news spread rapidly. Prisoner kills son's fiancée during visit. Detectives faced a perplexing case. Daniel Carter, already serving time for manslaughter, had committed a violent act during a supervised visit. The motive was unclear. As the investigation unfolded, startling revelations emerged. Marissa's real name was Marcus Tiller. She had a history of arrests for fraud and identity deception. Evidence indicated she had been blackmailing Evan with intimate content, exploiting his trust and emotional vulnerability. The media seized upon the sensational story. Headlines screamed, "Father or monster? Love and lies behind bars." Public opinion was sharply divided. Some viewed Daniel as a protective father who acted to save his son from a manipulative predator. Others saw a violent man who took justice into his own hands. As the truth unraveled, the lines between victim and perpetrator blurred, leaving a community grappling with questions of identity, deception, and the lengths one might go to protect loved ones. Weeks before the fatal prison visit, Daniel Carter had grown increasingly uneasy about his son's fiancée, Marissa. Her evasive answers and inconsistent stories didn't sit right with him. Determined to uncover the truth, Daniel hired a private investigator to delve into Marissa's background. The investigator's findings were startling. Marissa's real name was Marcus Tiller, a person with a history of fraud and identity deception. She had previously posed as various individuals to exploit emotionally vulnerable men, often targeting those with estranged family relationships. In a recorded prison interview, Daniel expressed his turmoil. "I didn't kill a woman. I killed a liar who was using my son." He believed that Marcus had manipulated Evan, exploiting his longing for connection and family. Daniel's actions, though extreme, were, in his view, a desperate attempt to protect his son from further harm. The courtroom was tense as Evan took the stand. Torn between grief and guilt, he recounted his relationship with Marissa, unaware of her true identity. He spoke of the emotional support she provided during the pandemic, the plans they made, and the shock of discovering her deception. Further investigation revealed that Marcus had a past as a prison informant, known for targeting emotionally vulnerable men. This revelation added complexity to the case, raising questions about manipulation, identity, and the lengths one might go to protect loved ones. As the trial progressed, the jury grappled with the nuances of the case. Was Daniel's act one of vigilantism or a father's desperate attempt to save his son? The line between justice and revenge blurred, leaving all involved to confront the consequences of hidden truths and the devastating impact of deception. As the courtroom proceedings drew to a close, the central question lingered. Did Daniel Carter commit murder, or was his act a desperate attempt to protect his son from a manipulative individual? The revelation that Marissa was, in fact, Marcus Tiller, a person with a history of fraud and identity deception, complicated the narrative. Daniel's actions, though violent, were rooted in a father's instinct to shield his child from harm. The judge acknowledged the complexity of the case. While Daniel was already serving a sentence for manslaughter, the court had to consider the new circumstances. Ultimately, Daniel received additional years added to his sentence. However, the public response was swift and passionate. Petitions circulated demanding leniency for a man many saw as a protective father rather than a cold-blooded killer. Evan Carter faced a tumultuous emotional journey. The betrayal by someone he loved deeply left him grappling with grief and guilt. In a heartfelt statement, he shared, "All I ever wanted was love. But I got used." Over time, with therapy and support, Evan began the process of healing, aiming to rebuild his life and find peace. As the story concludes, the narrator poses a poignant question to the audience. What would you do if someone deceived your child into love, danger, and betrayal? A montage follows, showcasing reactions from various individuals, including motherly figures, each reflecting on the complexities of love, protection, and the lengths one might go to safeguard their family. This tale serves as a stark reminder of the gray areas in morality and the profound impact of our choices. Today, Evan Carter isn't just a survivor of betrayal and heartbreak. He's become an advocate, calling for prison reform, emotional screening, and safer visitation procedures. It's not just about what happened to me and my dad. It's about how easily it could happen to someone else. Now we ask you, was Daniel Carter a danger to society, or a desperate father trying to protect his only son from emotional ruin? Do you think Daniel deserves to remain behind bars? And if you thought this was shocking, wait till you hear what happened to the wife who faked her own death, only to be found 7 years later, living next door to the man she left behind. Was this justice, or a cover-up? Let us know what you think in the comments below. New episodes every day. Subscribe to never miss the truth.